you please welcome the President and Sabina Higgins.
Well, ar an gédal sias fircin fóiltir of élig tróna agus martha cumar an scéil tá si bheith buin teanamh as o'r gúirt go dtí Áras an Uachtaráin, Chuck an Uachtaráin. May I say how welcome you all are this afternoon to Áras an Uachtaráin. As I've just said in Irish, we fircin fóiltir of every welcome. Hello. And welcome particularly, I want to say very, very particularly, all the terrific boys and girls who are here with their families. And on behalf of Sabina and myself, there are no visitors we would more prefer to have on this very special day, which is the 13th International Rare Diseases Day. So enjoy your visit to us here. This is a particular welcome to all, as I have said, the very special children, and also very, very much to all of you who are representing organisations of care and organisations of advocacy. I want, of course, to welcome the Director General of the HSE, Paul Reid, who I'm delighted is with us. But I think, without you all know the background to all of this so much better even than anybody else. There are 8,000 known rare diseases, and 300,000 people in Ireland are living with those and their families, and about 4% of children born in any year by the age of 17 will be affected by the diseases and need the care which we're celebrating here today. And I think very, very particularly, I think what's very important, and it's one of the reasons we're so pleased to see these formal rooms of Áras an Uachtaráin, the President's House, filled with yourselves, because it's a very practical expression of citizenship. This is, as I've said, the 13th International Rare Disease Day, and I think what must always be remembered now, and I think as we look forward for other years, the last day of February is the day that is designated. So it must always be, may I say as President of Ireland, may it always be a day in which we're able to report progress. I think that it's an unusual day, but how it all came to be and how I have a particular attachment with this day, and I want to indicate my support for it as strongly as I can. But it really was from my meeting with Les O'Martin, Les and Linda, and their children Jorge, Cathal and Kieran. I think it was when I had my first conversations with them that I realised that it was so important that we try, all of us, to combine our efforts to address an issue of advocacy that really I see as an issue, frankly, as an issue of rights. Their children diagnosed with a rare genetic condition, metachromatic leukodystrophy. I think what I want to say, and you know, at my stage, after half a century in politics or whatever, I just am lost in admiration of the courage of those who share their story, the detail of their circumstances, so that others will in fact be able to benefit. I think they have shared their story, but so also have so many of you as well. And they have worked tirelessly to initiate a national conversation that I'm certain that if it gets an adequate response, will save many lives and improve the quality of lives for children in Ireland who are born with rare diseases. The evidence is there for that. For when such awareness came to the fore in other countries such as Italy, the net result was that many, many more were able to, let us say, that it isn't, let us say, the circumstance of these families was able to be shared properly. And I think it isn't only in relation to those who are affected by these rare diseases directly, but it requires within families and within carers a particular kind of journey. And on today, as I said, this very special day, the last day in February when we celebrate our awareness, our insufficiency of our awareness in relation to this, it is very, very important. I think as well, what I remember very, very, very much from my conversation with Les was the delays that we must eliminate, the great uncertainties through which people have been put to even begin their journey, to get a diagnosis and trying to get a rare condition diagnosed. And I think this is why I was so pleased when we were sending out the invitations today to invite those organisations who are involved. And also I'm so pleased and thank him for the director of the HSC here, because this is something we must do together and do as quickly as possible. And I think that it is so important. And I'm so glad that you brought the other members of the family with you as well, because these diagnoses affect every member of the family, and they affect all sorts of opportunities for the future. And in terms of opportunity, let us say, what does Sabina and I often think when we leave this room and go back after meeting you all, is that we're blown away by the extraordinary love and real care that you demonstrate again and again. And in doing so, you lift us all. And I want to say that, I think as well, I want to tell you as President of Ireland, is that I don't underestimate for a second all of the adjustments that have to be made. I certainly very much want to know, and some of you at different times when you have visited here have told me of the times you felt isolated, emotionally exhausted, of the importance it was to you to have something to come to your assistance, of the adjustments that you have made in your working lives, of the changes in circumstances that you've made. And all of these changes must be, in a republic that values its name as a republic, are adjustments that should and must be shared. I also think as well that it is often difficult, very often, when in fact a known diagnosis is there, groups have come into existence over periods of time. But it is often difficult to even know precisely where in fact one must turn. I do want to take therefore the opportunity of thanking all those involved with Rare Diseases Ireland who've worked so hard to voice and represent the views and interests of those affected by rare diseases. And it is creating a sense of community among the families who can empathise with each other. And it is important that each and everyone know that there is some direction in which you can reach out. I think that being united through Rare Diseases Ireland is allowing so many families affected by different rare conditions to speak with one voice as they seek to have their concerns and needs addressed. We all owe a debt of gratitude to those who have been campaigning tirelessly. I'm sure when I say that when he came to see me, I couldn't but be moved by how worn he was on one particular occasion. And to go from that point and to actually muster up not only the courage for oneself, but the courage of advocacy of others, and to move things out. And so many of you are doing all of this. I'm not singling out only just one individual. I think that as President, I have been privileged to hear many inspiring people who have bravely shared their stories and who have initiated an important debate. And may I wish as well, in these times of uncertainty when people are debating what they might achieve in government, may your issues be at the front of all of their lists, is my wish. I do say that very, very, very sincerely. And I think I remember well that summertime when Sabina and I met with Linda and Les and their children. And I'm so pleased that we're able to welcome them here again and to welcome all of you. And also, as well as that, I don't underestimate the effort it took to appear and address a national audience on Nationwide, because this is what may be the best way, of when people say to themselves, what does it mean to be in the European Union? What does it mean to be in the United Nations? The very best thing that could happen and should happen was that Ireland would be noted for its care and its compassion and its capacity to reach out, to be able to take all of us, the world, into ourselves, a world that includes the vulnerabilities of everybody else, as well as their strengths. I think now there is something to celebrate on this particular year. Attention has been drawn as never before, attention of politicians and clinicians and patient advocates and the public. So all that is needed is to keep the momentum going, so that on these last days of February to come and years to come, progress will be made. I hope that that progress that has been made to date can be sustained and that it will lead to positive change. And may I say as well, and again I emphasize it, it is what we can do together will give us the fastest results. And therefore, I completely respect the need and the work and the care and the concern and the science of those who are trying, if you like, to get the best result within scientific parameters and within policy parameters. But what my suggestion to them is be brave. Push it out rather than, in fact, being too cautious. Because I think that when you think in a way, whatever you do and whatever we do in relation to add to the number of diseases that can be handled through early diagnosis, just think of all the lives that will be affected. So therefore, I think let us push as well in the direction of taking all the risks in favour of the massive inclusion of as much as we can. May I say to you and the families here, you have the support of the President of Ireland in all of this. You will continue to have. I want to thank in particular as well, organising a day like today, my own staff here, our own staff here. And I want to thank our entertainers, the Fanzini brothers, Con Horgan and Kim McCafferty and Reve, Denise Kelly, our harpist, Alan Cranich, and a flautist, our first aiders from the Civil Defence. And I said, really, Cabra Library, I was giving books to Cabra Library the other day, but I actually borrowed some books on this occasion. So I want to thank them as well, and all those who provided toys. But the most important thing, I say to all of these children, you are in the house of the President, and nobody is more welcome. And all those who have come with you, bin chana vos an tronona, is gwingab dragus banach dar ne irachti mega shulis ne blinte tola chiot. Nilein avrasam, fuin made it up when shamak akadisha. I want to congratulate you on all of that you have achieved within the advocacy so far. So stay together and it will all be driving on. And in the meantime, you have all our love, Sabina's and mine, on all of the days in the years to come. Mila Buikas Barbanach, thank you very much.